So, um, if we're honest, we feel like life's a problem. There's a problem. There's a problem about life. There's me, and there's a problem called life, and I try to negotiate my way through it. And let's say, for example, let's say are we have a problem with drink or drugs or food or sex. We have an addiction, and we often think. I know in talked to a guy recently who used to go to the AA, used to be alcoholic, and used to go to the AA meetings. And what they get them to realize is that drink isn't a problem. So if you've got an eating disorder, food isn't the problem. If you're addicted to sex, sex isn't the problem. The, those things, those activities, those objects are not the problem. Hello, Dawn. But we think that's the problem. Drink is my problem, or drugs are my problem. Food is the problem. So we hide the food away or try to do whatever we can to do it. But the problem isn't there. The problem is self-centeredness. And so we live our life so that we try to get what we want. Our life is spent in pursuit of getting what we think will do it for me. If I get Mr. or Mrs. right, if I get the right job, if I get the right car, if I present the right attitude, present the right masks, the right personality, if I write enough books, if I become good enough, or it's all about becoming. If I become something, or either I get something or I become something. We think that's the way to happiness. Well, I'm going to disappoint you. It isn't. It doesn't work. I read an article recently about Anthony Bourdain. Was it a while ago he committed suicide? And it got me thinking that he'd reached the top of the tree in our society. Got the wealth, the fame, the big house, the cars, the girlfriends or boyfriends. He'd reached the top of the tree. There was nowhere to go. And we're all trying to get to the top of that tree in a certain sort of way. I know we're not all wanting to live a life like Anthony Bourdain. But we have an idea that once we get to a certain place, it will all be well. It won't. It won't. It doesn't work. It's a dream. And meditations where your dreams are shattered. Who dreams? People who are asleep. The only dreams, or the only people who dream, are the people who are asleep. Or the only time we dream is when we are asleep. When I say your dreams become shattered, I don't mean your functional goals in life, like getting a better. Of course, it is done. Yeah. Move back to my hometown, I'll be happier. Yeah. That doesn't mean to say you don't move back to your hometown or you get the best job you can get, but it's not gonna do it. If we're in a abusive relationship, get out of it. Get into a healthier one by all means. But no matter what we've got our sights on, it will never, ever, ever do it. It won't work. You'll never, right, are you ready? Are you ready? You will never be happy. Oh, shit. You'll never be happy pursuing that kind of life. I'm not saying don't have the nice house and a nice car, okay? But you know what I'm meaning. It doesn't do it. It doesn't give us what we invest. We invest more in it than they actually give us. And the thing is, this is good news. This is good news. So what we do is our life is like a pursuance of our neurotic desires. Let's call them neurotic desires. And what happens is we come across meditation, spiritual, and we think, oh yeah, I'll become light, and I'll sort of things will fall away, and I'll just sort of live life like very serenely, and I'll levitate, and everything will go just nice. Rubbish, absolute rubbish. Be careful what books you read. They just feed the dream that keeps you stuck. Meditation is seeing how we pursue, or how this dream is pursued. It's looking at the dream. Thank you, Sarah. It's looking at this dream. See that? And because in meditation, we are here now. Then what happens? And we're either spinning about something that happened or didn't happen. It doesn't matter. But we're trying to get out of this present moment into some false reality. And then part of that thinking, or a lot of that thinking, is about the dream. How do I make this dream a reality? How do I get out of this ordinary life into this dream? And meditation is noticing this dream, observing it. How again and again we're taken away into this dream world. See, our reality is based on what goes on in our head. Man, what a nightmare! It's a nightmare. Think about it for a moment. Our reality is based on what goes on in our head. My God. So what we're doing, we're starting to observe this, and observe how all this thinking is really reinforcing and affirming this sense of this self-centeredness, which keeps us trapped and unhappy. It keeps us unhappy. Meditation is beginning to see this self-centeredness and to dismantle it, to soften it. Let's say soften it. And then what happens is we move from a life of self-centeredness to a life where we are more life-centered. So we move from being self-centered, me, 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 me. And if we're honest, that's where most of us are, most of the time. Not all the time. We have our moments. Okay? From me, 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 me to becoming more life-centered. We open to life. That's what we do. And we close down again. If something happens, we close down and and it's that. Meditation is that. It's opening, and we see it, we close again, we open. But over time, over months, years, decade, whatever, for the rest of our life, we become more life-centered. So our life isn't lived in pursuing this dream. We wake up from the dream, or we wake up to the dream, or from the dream. It doesn't work. It doesn't deliver the goods, and we know it. If you don't mind just sharing this, guys, we're going to have a meditation soon. So as we move from a life being self-centered to being life-centered, we move from unhappiness to happiness. The more life-centered we are, the more happy we are. Our neurotic desires begin to fall away or begin to lessen. We still have desires, healthy desires, of course, for friendship and decent food and shelter and warmth and all that. We still have natural desires. Natural desires, neurotic desires. The neurotic desires begin to fall away. Our natural desires, that's what we pursue. They're natural desires, Emma. It is. You're right, Emma. They're difficult to get away from. But that's why we want to be with like-minded people. Not all the time, but that's why we have groups. We have regular meetings so that the message gets dropped in, gets dropped in. We drip, and the message starts to dawn on us, and the transformation, the turnaround of the direction of our life begins to turn. The shift. It's called the shift. The shift begins. Boom, boom. Begins to shift. Thanks, Caroline. And when that begins to happen, you sense something in your life. Something's shifting here. Something's changing. I'm not even sure what, but I kind of like it. I kind of trust it. So we realize that life is no more a problem. Things still happen, of course. Your car breaks down, or lockdown happens. Yeah, we can't. It's not so easy, is it, to fulfill our neurotic desires? It's not so easy anymore, and that's why a lot of us find it difficult. Because when we try to fulfill our neurotic desires, or when we get them fulfilled for a few moments, it's a way out. It's like, oh, it's escape. It's an escape. But when there's a lockdown like this, there's less of a chance to escape. So what the lockdown does, it puts a mirror in front of us. And if we know how to look in the mirror, we can really learn from this. It's a wonderful opportunity without being cliched about it. I hate cliches that really annoy me. I try not to use them. But you can't help it sometimes, can you? But it's like the lockdown it's a mirror. Okay, then. So what are you going to do now? This is you, and with yourself. There's less escape. When I lived in a retreat center, I lived there for 5 years, and I'd been there about 6 months, and we started doing more Zen type of meditation, and I spent the next 4.5 years looking at a white wall, about that far ahead of me, about 2 or 3 feet, and just sat and looked at the white wall. I did get up to go to the toilet and have some food, but I just looked at the white wall a few hours a day. Now, from the usual point of view, that's madness. Take him away, or take them away. I wasn't the only one. But it was a mirror. Now, anything can be your mirror. Everything's your mirror. If you know how to look, if you know how to use life as a mirror, you get reflected back, and you learn. You see yourself. So meditation, which we're going to do in a few moments, meditation is about seeing this happening, seeing this whole process. It's seeing how we hurt ourselves and seeing how we hurt others, and becoming free of that. That's what it is. It's not about being all nice and happy, and happy in that sense of, that naive feeling good. It's not just about feeling good now. It's about being real. It's a full stop. Meditation, mindfulness, it's a full stop. Bang. Give it up. It's an alarm clock. It's a full stop. And what a relief. It's an absolute relief. And it's just, I'm done with it. I'm done with all that. And now I can come back home. Take a deep breath. It's like getting into a nice warm bath on a really cold day. The body's freezing and you get into that warm bath, and it's like, I normally have showers, but hey, play with the image. Okay. Close your eyes we'll just have a short meditation today because I don't want to go on too long. I'm going to keep them to around about 20, 25 minutes. Just rest your gaze on the white wall or the carpet, or close your eyes. And feel the body sitting here. This is reality. Reality comes in, let's say, 5 forms. So be with reality in the form of feeling. Just feel the body. Which includes the breath. Hearing. Just hear any sounds that are happening. See, these sounds are not about me. The form of seeing. So even with the eyes closed, there's seeing still happening. So reality comes in the form of seeing, feeling, hearing, smelling, and tasting. This is present moment reality. So just feel the body. And also thinking is a part of reality, but which also has the capacity to create unreality. Me, our stories. Just notice the stories, notice the thinking, and come back to the body and the breath. That's it, just dropping into the body. Notice the urge to go into thinking about ourself or life. And just say to yourself, thinking. Notice how it creates a world. And come back to the real world, come back home. Okay. Okay, guys, yeah, thank you for turning up. And if you don't mind, I do have an online mindfulness course starting next week. It's on the website if you're interested. So yeah, I've sent you the link there anyway. Or go to the home retreat page and there's some free resources on there. Okay, and thank you. Bye-bye.